to the St. Sam's meeting. I'm Chance. So, I look at religion more analytical. So I figured it would be fun if we all interacted with. Let's start somewhere simple. What are the 3 things that come to your mind when you think of Christianity?
Sinners.
Okay. 2 more.
The Trinity.
The Trinity, okay.
A cross.
A cross. These are all fairly large icons or ideas within the religion itself. But Christianity as a whole predates Jesus Christ and all of this. And in those books, it speaks about multiple gods, Yahweh, Elohim, and the Bible that we know today is a cherry-picked number of accounts of people who happen to be around Jesus. And Exodus and Revelations was written by a man dying of thirst on a desert island. These sections all came together to make the Bible we know today. But there are sections that we'll never get to read unless you happen to know ancient Hebrew and spend time at the Vatican.
You spend time at the Vatican, you can't read them anyway.
That too. A lot of them are under lock and key because they don't want people to get the wrong impressions. It's theorized, I don't think that there's any proof, that a lot of the books in the Vatican are about Jesus' life pre-13 and not long before his death, which in the Bible we get nothing. All that being said, religion is an ever-evolving thing. We can try to read and parse out information all we want, but we weren't there. And ultimately the Bible was written by a group of men. Men are flawed. None of us are perfect. We all fall short. So I like to pick and read and try to understand where people's heads were when the various theologies were practiced. Moving right along from Christianity, we have Greek paganism. What comes to your minds when you hear the words Greek paganism or Greek theology?
Polytheistic.
Polytheistic, good.
Don't fly too close to the sun.
That's fair. That's a cautionary tale. Come on. Any more?
What about you, Cody?
I know in Greek mythology they all have a lesson in them.
Absolutely. One of my favorites is the birth of the peacock, which happens to be Hera was mad, which is a lot of Greek mythology. So they made a many-eyed monster that Heracles slayed. This is before his labors.
I like the concept of like middle managers. So like all of the deities are in charge of their one focused
Facet.
thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's a lot of fun. But the story is this many-eyed monster. I forget exactly who it was supposed to kill. Heracles slayed it, and they didn't want to lose that creation, so they turned the corpse into a peacock, which is why the peacock is considered Hera's precious animal.
And why his feathers have eyes on them.
Absolutely. But what we consider Greek paganism is actually 5-ish separate religions, depending on how you consider it. So, primordials were the grandparents of the gods. They're the concepts of like the night, the moon, the earth you live upon. These are primordials. Chaos was considered to be a primordial. The ocean itself was a primordial.
Elements and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then within the next generation of Greek religion, you have the Titans, who were considered despot rulers of the world. The primordials were kind of stuck where they were. They had great power, but itty-bitty living space. They were stuck.
All right, Genie.
Right, exactly. They were stuck in their solitary domain. While the Titans, the despots, they were the ones, according to Greek religion, who made humanity.
Weren't the Titans like the Kraken and the
No.
cow guy and stuff?
Nope,
weren't
those
they?
were just monsters. Polyphemus, it was a Cyclops, and that's who you were talking about with the
No,
cow.
a centaur. What-
No, a Minotaur is
Min-
what you're
a
talking
A
about.
Minotaur was a punishment. That's not important.
Story for a different day.
I thought they were all the Titans. All those
Absolutely not.
monsters.
Titans are other semi-intangible concepts.
Titans
the-
are also gods. They're just the gods before the gods.
Correct. And they made mankind. They started with a race of gold who were too pretty and precious to work upon the land, so they destroyed them and made men of stone who were too gruff and coarse and incapable of delicate work. So they made the man of clay. And that was ultimately humanity. But the bigger thing is Titans are things like Kronos, the god of time. Not Polyphemus. Anyway, one of them was the god of the skies. He holds up the world on his shoulders.
Atlas.
Atlas, got it in one. These are Titans. And most of them were sent to punishment when the third generation of belief comes out, and that is the Greek pantheon we know today: Zeus, Poseidon, Hera, Demeter, all those guys. These guys, according to the legends, slew their forebearers, the ones who would not join them, and sent them to Tartarus or punished them by making them hold up the sky, things of that sort. But during the greater expanse of religious belief of Greek mythology, we had Orphic and Hellenic Greek paganism. And Orphic is death. They had death cults where they did sacrifices and prayed to Hades and the various other darker gods. At this time, Dionysus was also a darker god, all about the sacrifices. That's where we get the tale of the Maenads from. Women who drank wine, went crazy, started eating people. That's all part of Dionysian.
So it's like bath salts.
Who knows? Probably opium.
Well, Dionysus is known as god of wine. and
God of
grapes.
wine and revelry. But
Yeah.
that's just to show how much his roots have changed. Originally, he was a death god.
Yeah, I didn't know
yes,
that.
He was a god of celebration and party, but he was also a god of excess and dark excess. And as time progressed, he became more mainstream and moved from an Orphic to a Hellenic. Hellenic represents the time span within the Hellenic Wars, where war gods were considered the big grouping. Aphrodite, in their first appearance in Greek mythology, was a war goddess. She had a different name in front of Aphrodite. I don't recall it at this time. But she was a war goddess. When she was adopted into the Greek pantheon, she became mainstream, and it wasn't until the more Romanesque times that she became effectively the solitary god of love. And there's a few impressions of that, because like they have their son Eros, who is where we get the idea of the little cherub flapping around, shooting people in the butt with arrows, making them fall in love. So there is bleed over between them, but it's all an ever-evolving tapestry. Nothing is as simple as words on a page. It's all of its, especially when we're talking about Greek paganism, was small villages, small towns, believing in their god. Their god being Aphrodite, Athena, Ares. And it wasn't until Greece started becoming a major power on the world stage that they were all sort of put together in a singular pantheon. I do want to cover one more. Let's see. What do we know about Daoism?
About what?
Daoism.
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 You know what Dao is? What the woman gets?
Something completely different.
Okay.
It's a religion.
It is
Yeah,
a
no,
religion.
never heard of it.
I've got nothing.
Well, I get to teach y'all something. And again, everything I say is from my personal interpretations and what I've read. I am not infallible. I may get stuff wrong. But as long as we work together and attempt to learn together, we can always progress our own knowledge and our own belief structures.
That's what this church is all about.
Absolutely. So Daoism is the belief in balance. For every bad deed you do, it negatively affects your Tao. For every good deed you do, it positively affects your Tao.
Like karma?
That is where we get karma from, yes. It's karma and dharma specifically, but it doesn't matter, simple terms. So, they believe that if you've lived a life where you have done more good than harm in your life, you will be reincarnated in a better position in life than you were. And if you've done more harm in your life, you are spun back through the wheel in a worse position than you started your life in this one.
Which is a pretty common thread with all the religions that believe in reincarnation, right?
Right. The biggest difference being in Daoism, they believe if you've reached the pinnacle of enlightenment, you've done the most good you could ever do in your lifetime, you will be brought to the heavens as a god.
Now that just sounds like egg theory, just more complicated.
I mean, this predates egg theory, so...
Well, yeah,
I-
because I always thought that a fly is somebody who is a real asshole and her serving her sentence in hell as a fly.
No, and that very well could be. That's exactly what Daoism is about. It's about doing good in the world, and for every good act, you're brought closer to heaven, and for every bad act, you're brought closer to hell.
What is egg theory? I don't know what you are talking about.
Egg theory is everyone, it's the same person just living their life at a different time, and eventually when all humans die, they become a god. And it's just that one person learning everything through the billions and billions of lives to become said god.
And while Daoism is, you will probably live thousands of lives before you ever reach the enlightenment. There's different stages within the religion, beliefs that will put you in different spots. upon the heaven to hell chart, we'll call it. And again, there's lots of gods. There's cautionary tales in every religion. This one is real popular over in like India and some parts of China.
So is it theistic? Do they have deities?
Yeah, it's polytheistic.
Okay.
They do have deities that were there first for the stories of enlightenment, and I won't even say most of them, but a lot of the deities within those tales started out as humans, as warlord figures, as great men and women of their time.
Because, yeah, Buddhism is all about enlightenment, but without deities. So that's
Right.
the difference there.
Buddhism is more of you're trying to reach perfect enlightenment, and when you do, you are an enlightened soul. It's a bit more complex than that, but
Right.
that's
Nutshell.
nutshell. Absolutely. And that's why you can be a Christian and a Buddhist, because Buddhism is not a theology; it's a philosophy. Some people treat it as an interchangeable idea, but it's not. I'm friends with many Buddhists. I'm friends with Christians. It doesn't matter. We're all on the same rock floating in outer space that's way bigger than any of us, trying to find the light in the darkness. Helping each other understand, I think, is the most important way we as a community, as a planet, can grow. Hope y'all enjoyed the talk, and if y'all have any questions, feel free to post them.
Thank you so much for joining us here at STSS, an omnistic church that believes that there is some truth in every religion and that our spiritual beliefs don't need to fit into any one box. Join us every week for a new discussion on a different topic. Please help our church grow by giving us a subscribe, like, or share, and let us know in the comments your views on today's discussion or what you would like to hear us cover in the future. Every comment and share helps. See you next week.